It's mid-March and the breeding season is in the final stages, so the young birds need to be weaned and parted. Morning, ladies. After today, the Widowhook cock section will be empty of young birds, bar one box, so I can start getting them ready for the first race in April. Right. So now we've got to spread some Easy Chick. So what I've done here is I've put down like a lime loft white. It's pink actually, this one. I prefer the loft white actually compared to this. I thought I'd give this a go. It's a bit more expensive, but I don't like it as much. The dust is a bit finer, so it kicks up a little bit easier, and I don't like that. So scrape the floor, put that down, and then put a load of this chick. Now I could just tip it over and drag it out, but I'm doing this slowly so you can see. Obviously some of the birds get a bit fripped by it. Does anybody remember Jesse's diets? Every time I come in and out of this loft, that's exactly what I think about. This week I have mostly been eating chocolate bourbons. For those that didn't grow up on 90s sketch shows, it's back to the serious business of pigeons. So that bird in the bottom there, the eggs in there, they are a bird that we got from King Charles' loft, and he's paired up with one of Charlie's birds. I think that's Charlie's hen in there. I'm not going to get too close to it because they've just hatched out yesterday. So they've had a good feed this morning, these two have anyway, so they should be good for the rest of the day. Come on then. You're a little bit smaller than your nest mate, but I've seen you flapping your wings, you're ready to go. You've been pecking. So these are from what I would say are my stock birds, as in the birds I've tried to get 2 rounds off. I think you are from 1998 and 1994, Darlow 94. Now what should happen is, because we've got hens in here that are feeding, like this one, your mum or your surrogate mum, she's in here, over there, trying to get to you. If these get particularly hungry, then they should still get fed, but they'll also watch the other hens feeding out the trough, and it should get them used to it. So, but we don't want them to get bullied, so I'm going to get a couple more. It's tricky to get this right when the eggs hatched over the course of a month. I don't have a stock loft per se. All of my birds are raised by the race team, and as I'm limited on space, I can't give them as much time as I'd like. Something I'm aiming to address next year, but on the plus side, the plan seems to work. Now, it hasn't been all sunshine, robin redbreasts and ladybirds. In fact, this winter has been a pretty tough one. Warts and all on this channel, it's the only way you can learn from mistakes. Today, we're moving over some of the young birds. They're ready to be weaned, so I've got to do a bit of musical chairs really, because there's still 2 pairs in here nesting, rearing chicks. 2 in here, and then there's two in there. Oh, that one doesn't look right. Oh no. That one looks not breathing. Oh dear. bollocks. It's dead. And it is a bit smaller actually than the nest. Than its nest mate. Oh, I wonder what's gone on there. No. Right, I'll have a look over it. Because it is smaller than that one. Bollocks.
And it didn't end there, so if you're sensitive, skip forwards a minute.
Wednesday morning, -2 last night. We're having an absolute torrid time of it this year because I've just come to feed the young birds, or feed all the birds. Got these guys in there, and I've just come to feed the hens and the young birds in this section, and look who's on the floor, dead. Ryan, not Brian. Stiff as a board. I haven't picked her up yet. Just a little bit of material bedding move there, so oh dear, it's bleeding from the mouth. Oh. I wonder if I've done something wrong there. Oh, that's Archie's bird. That's 3 birds dead in the last few weeks, all from weird, different things. Well, I'll tell Archie, but why would she be bleeding from the mouth? On the floor, can't breathe, obviously. She's bleeding from the mouth, so she's sort of hemorrhaged. Whether something's got stuck in there. She's choked. But she was appeared perfectly healthy, fine. Flying around the last day. Or, not flying around, she was in the loft, but not been moping around, not been fluffing her feathers up or anything. She's got plenty of weight in her. I wonder if... I'll have a look. Oh, I'm more disappointed about that.
So we've lost 2 chicks. The first was a few weeks prior that appeared to have got in the middle of 2 cocks fighting in the box, and these last 2. I suppose it's important to remember that everything alive today will be dead in the future. Disease, predation, accidents, and sometimes you just don't know. But if you thought bad luck comes in 3s, well, it doesn't today. This beautiful black I got from Noel Callahan's Marley sauce birds looked fine a week ago.
A real issue I've got is this boy here. So he's actually blind. He's gone blind in one eye. Look, he can't see me. He can't see me at all. And he can see me this side. He can't see me, but he can't see me on the other side. Just look. Go right up to his eye. Can't see me. And I suspect he's been pecked because he's fit and healthy. He was off it for a couple of days. He sort of sat in the corner, which you would be if you'd just been pecked in the eyeball and went blind. But that's a real shame. That's one of Noel Callahan's birds. It's the only black one I've got. The plan this year was to actually reduce the amount of young birds that I have, because last year I had too many. Here we've got the hens. These are in the young bird section at the moment because I've still got some birds down. It's all chaos this year. I tried to be clever and it's backfired. Here's one habit I've got. I use my hands to shoe the birds. I think that's a mistake. I should have, from the start, I should not. I'm going to try and do that with these young birds. I'm not going to use my hands to shoe them, because then they'll just get used to the fact that every time they see my hands, they've got to move away. I'm going to use like a little stick or a paddle or something like that, just so they don't get used to every time they see my hands thinking, oh, I've got to move, and then it's difficult to catch them. Here's the young birds we've got so far, and the dropper, she's up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Only 13. I've still got another 5 in the old bird loft. So they're a good 10 days or 2 weeks, I would say, before I can part them off. I've only actually got 4 of those, because one of them is promised to a chap in the Fed. So it's just been, it's not been very good breeding. Some of them laid, some of them didn't, and then the ones that did lay, some were clear eggs, some weren't. It hasn't been a brilliant breeding season. The good news is we've got the cocks in here all flying now. So they've been out this morning, and they'll be going out again later on. They're still not that hungry, so they're still mucking about coming in. I got them in within 30 seconds today, but I'd like them to be a little bit quicker than that. Luckily, John and Noel Callahan, they've offered to breed me, I mean John's in America, but Noel's offered to breed me another 6 young birds. They're long distance birds though, so we won't get the best out of them as young birds. So what will we end up with? Well, I've probably got, what, 13, 14, 15, I've probably got 15 or 16 young birds. It's not going to see me through at the moment, plus the 6 from Noel, so 20, 22. I was aiming for about 26 to 30, because you always lose some off the top of the loft. I do anyway, and then training, lose a few. I might buy a kit of 6 sprinters. If I pull my finger out, I might be able to get that done, and then next year that's all coming down, and I'm just going to put one long loft in, so that it makes it a lot easier in theory for all of this breeding and training and whatever, if I can just teach them all to come into one entrance, whether they're hens or cocks or young birds, and then I can move them around in a corridor. That's what I'm going to do.